So my name is Jasleen Othman, and I serve as the Director of English Language Arts for the Newark Public Schools. It is an honor, on behalf of the Superintendent Leon, recognizing this citywide commitment to literacy, alongside the Mayor's Literacy Coalition. At Newark Public Schools, we believe every child deserves access to powerful books and meaningful literacy experiences. And we hold high expectations that every student engages deeply with text, thinks critically, and expresses their ideas through reading and writing. So through our high-quality curriculum and initiatives like Newark Reads and the Newark Literacy Movement, students are able to build their own home libraries by choosing books that spark their curiosity and interest. By the time students graduate high school, they will have added more than 100 books to their personal libraries, creating lasting access to stories, knowledge, and opportunity. So today is an opportunity to highlight the incredible literacy work happening across the city of Newark. Today's panel features outstanding principals who are driving strong literacy outcomes for students. Please join me in welcoming our moderator, Dr. Janae Wingfield, and distinguished panelists, Principal Gilliam of Michelle Obama Elementary School, Principal Pringle of Gray Charter, Principal Wicks of Sir Isaac Newton Elementary School, Principal Trillo of Robert Tree Academy, Principal Copeland of North Star Valesburg Elementary, Principal Hayward of Maria Varisco Rogers. We will be hearing from these amazing principals and listening in on what is that secret sauce that brings that literacy high scores in their buildings. So please give us a round of applause for our panel.
All right, so I believe these are all of the principals. We'll make sure we take the time to acknowledge the others. But I first want to thank Jasleen for the great introduction. Oftentimes we're having conversations about literacy, and we're talking about what's happening in the schools, but we're not talking to the people in the schools. And so it is a pleasure to be before these exceedingly great principals. The average literacy score across the state of New Jersey is about 50%. Each and every one of these principals has exceeded that. So we're first going to start with just brief introductions. Tell us who you are, tell us about your school, and what your proficiency score was this academic year.
I'm not going to be able to speak a lot, so I'm going to have one of my teachers come up and speak for me because I've been sick for the last couple of days, and so if I talk too long, I'm going to start coughing, and you don't want to see that. So my name is Ann Hayward. I've been principal at Maria Varisco since, Maria Varisco Rogers Charter School in North Newark, and I've been there over 20 years now. What was the next part? Sorry.
Tell us a little bit about your school and your proficiency rate.
So I think that my school is, as of last year, we're 99% Latino. So our school is consisted of a lot of ESL students. We get an influx of students, especially because we're in North Newark. Our proficiency rate, I feel like that has happened mostly because of the fact that I have veteran teachers. I have a lot of teachers that have been there just as long as I've been there. We do have some turnover, but because I have strong teachers and because I also listen to my teachers, I feel like that's what's causing us to have such a great proficiency rate.
And I just want to acknowledge that that proficiency rate is 68.4%, and that, let's give them a round of applause. And they've been able to maintain that over the past 3 years consistently.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Can I get my teacher to speak because I feel like...
Absolutely, just pop out, yeah. All right, Principal Gilliam.
Good morning, everyone. I am Principal LaShonda Gilliam, the founding principal. I'm proud to be the founding principal of Michelle Obama Elementary School. We are so happy. Like, we opened in 2001, and when we first opened, it started with pre-K to grade 2. And every year we had to add a grade until we get to grade 8, and next year we will be at grade 7. And so I am proud of how we did with the NJSLA, but I am more proud about what my students and my team and my families believe about literacy. We are excited to score well, but we want children to understand that literacy really is the key to their future. And so we do pour into them a lot, understanding that literacy is going to change your life. It really is. We want them to score well, but literacy is survival at this point. And that's really how we treat it. We really do.
And the humble Miss Gilliam, I just want to acknowledge that that proficiency rate was a 79.4%.
Yes, we did do well, but I attribute all of it to my team, my kids. I have 2 of them with me today with perfect scores. They really work really, really hard. They do, and the families do. You know, we have Saturday Academy in Newark where the superintendent mandates everybody goes. For Obama, it's a family choice. You know, they really have bought into tutoring and being there on Saturdays. They donate treats for the kids to make sure that we get them all in. So it's really a belief system for the entire community.
Thank you, Ms. Gilliam. Dr. Wicks?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you.
Just keep talking, I'll adjust.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Tiffany Wicks. I'm the proud principal of Sir Isaac Newton Elementary School, formerly known as Newton Street. We are also a small school. We opened in 2020. We are pre-K 3 to grade 6, moving to grade 7 next year. We really pride on literacy at our school. We pride on all academics, but literacy was always top notch just because you have to be able to read to be able to do everything else. We start building literacy skills in pre-K 3, and so many of our pre-K 3 leave out of pre-K 3 on a level B or C. And so we try to bridge that gap between pre-K and kindergarten so that once you can read, reading by grade 3 is already established. Our literacy scores were about 55% with a 19% growth, and so we'll talk about that more. And so really championing our students into being great scholars. All of the students that are here in 4th grade were perfect score students as well. With our 6th graders in 5th grade hitting 65% just on their own in literacy. And so, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wicks. And so we led with talking about the numbers because, as you can see, that's what really gets the people going. But I can assure you that there's a lot more that goes into the day-to-day that we have not yet had the opportunity to talk about. So now I'm going to open it up for the principals and teacher. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tina McCormick, and I've been teaching at MLVR for 14 years, and I teach 3rd and 4th grade ELA and writing.
Thank you, Ms. McCormick. Let's give her a round of applause because the teachers do the work. Now, just tell us a little bit about what the day-to-day looks like. What does your ELA block look like? What's the work that's expected of your teachers? And how are you bridging what's happening in the classroom to what's happening with your families? You want to start,
Yes.
Principal Keller?
So at Obama, we all start the day with literacy. It starts at 8:40 and it goes until 10. And so we do spend a lot of time. During that time, we do independent reading. We do SIPs, we do foundations. We are still doing a little bit of guided reading here and there. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are doing tutoring. And so at Obama, what we try to do, which I think makes a difference, is the classroom teacher is also the tutorer, also the Saturday Academy teacher. So you have to be consistent in who works with children. In some places, you have some teachers teaching them during the day and a different person tutoring and a different person on Saturday. The children know their scores, they know where they are, they know where they have to go, but their instructor has to know them as well as they know themselves. If I'm expected to move them, I have to be the one to work with them. So at Obama, we try to be consistent. We make sure that the people that are teaching our children are properly trained. The data is constantly spoken of. Parents, my parents know their kids' MAP scores. They do. Everybody has a role in order. Like Mayor was saying, literacy is gonna have to be a community push. It can't just be on the teachers. It can't just be on the parents. It can't just be on the principal. All of us have to do it in order to see gains.
Thank you, Principal Gilliam. Ms. McCormick, can you add to that?
The same thing for the reading block. We have a 90-minute reading block, and then we have a 45-minute writing block. So I feel like that gives us a lot of time to focus on all the skills and not just push writing into reading, but it has its own time, which I feel like is really important. Another thing is we have very flexible curriculum. So if our students need more of something, we're not on a time crunch. We can spend the time on what they need to get them where they need to be. And with that, we have iReady data, which we use to see what they need more of, what they need less of, and what they need as individuals. Also, we're very heavily vocabulary based on thematic units. So when we're teaching our vocabulary, they're having books in their libraries of that vocabulary. We're creating these experiences for them so that they can connect with literature. Because a lot of our students don't have background knowledge. They've never been to a lot of places. So we try in the classroom to expose them to all those things. Another thing is that we have family literacy nights, where we started last year, where each night is a theme. And the parents come, so we had the magic of reading, and we had books set up, and we had a magician come, and then we had a pizza night where we did a read aloud we had stations set up, and they were all themed off of pizza. The kids came, and they had pizza, and they had a menu, and they got to rate each book that they got the read aloud, they got to rate each book. So just making reading come to life for them, and knowing that everyone is at a different rate, but you will read. So, and it's their own pace, their own time, but you will read. There's no other expectation.
All right, thank you, Ms. McCormick. I do want to just briefly add one piece, because I know we're talking about background knowledge as part of this, and forgive me, Ms. McCormick, but every student shows up with something. I think what we meant to say is that they're coming in at different entry points, and that background knowledge looks differently depending on the entry point that their student is coming in with, the different cultures and languages of the family.
I just meant along the lines of when we open up a book and we ask a question, a lot of the students don't have the background knowledge to tell us what that book was about.
Yes.
So creating the opportunities before they begin reading that book and after they begin reading that book to continue the love for what they're seeing.
Thank you, Ms. McCormick, but want to make sure that we're clear for the audience too. Okay. Thank you, guys. Dr. Wicks.
So at Sir Isaac Newton, we also have 90 minutes of ELA, and we have 40 minutes of a social studies block. But at Newark Public Schools, we have knowledge building curriculum, which integrates science and social studies, and therefore that's what gives us those 3 blocks for literacy. And so we do SIPs for most of the school, because our school, because the kids are reading in pre-K, we kind of don't need foundations. So we do SIPs, we do our knowledge building, and we do intentional center time. I want to give a shout out to all of my teachers as well, because we do a lot of work around problem practice. So in our professional learning communities, we do peer visits, we find our actionable, observable problems of practice that we can rectify inside of the classroom. And so all of it is data driven instruction. Is very intentional, especially working with our CUSP students. So those are the students who are almost there, who just need intense small group instruction. And so we use that. That is a big part of our day, is small group instruction. Also, our PTA is very strong. They advocate for their children. They advocate for our school. They fundraise all the time to try to get us more resources. We have resources, but to get us more of what we need, they donate digital microscopes. We do a lot of, we have a hydroponics lab, and so our students are exposed to many different things other than just doing the ELA curriculum and the small group instruction, so that they build that knowledge within the school so that we can better help them be better readers.
Thank you, Dr. Wicks. I now want to transition to asking you all about the value of building content knowledge. Currently, the public conversation is a lot about science of reading and phonics, which are all very important. But in that conversation, sometimes the content knowledge building and those comprehension pieces get isolated from that conversation. So can you talk a little bit about the value of that as well and how that's also contributed to your success? Dr. Wicks, you want to start?
Okay, sure. So as a former ELA supervisor in the Newark Board of Education, I wrote much of the knowledge building curriculum that we have, with a lot of our teachers being readers. Ms. Othman, that you all saw, was also my partner in that work. And so we were very intentional in making sure that our students were exposed to many different topics, and also seeing children that look just like them in the stories and the things that we discuss. And so not only is the curriculum that we use very beneficial, but it's also the stuff that we supplement. And so we have a piano STEM lab, which also builds knowledge. We have our hydroponics lab, we play chess, we do robotics. There are so many things that you can embed into your daily routine and curriculum to ensure that your students are building that knowledge, so that when they do read, they understand what they're reading, and they're like, oh, I read about that, or I do that in the after-school program. All of the level texts are also content building for them, and so we're very intentional with all of that work, because exposure is key, intentionality is key.
Thank you.
One thing that we do at Obama is we do have our literacy teachers partner with the other content, because we have certain strategies that we work on by the month, and we want to make sure that the students are able to apply those strategies when they're trying to solve their math problems or trying to do something in science. We have to make sure that the skills transfer. But in order to do that, you really have to start with the teachers. So our literacy teachers often partner with our content teachers, even music and art, to make sure that we are all on one accord. So those strategies do happen in the literacy room, but it goes in the math room, the science room, the art room, the gym room. They're writing in gym for health. We're making sure that those skills are transferable. So they have to meet together and often plan together.
Ms. McCormick?
Exposure to different genres is really important in our school, and also we still do novel studies. So last year our third graders read 13 novels, and after each novel they rate it, they do a book study on it, and they love it. And they get sometimes, if a student read a novel that they really liked, we bring that in, and then that'll be one of the novels we do. So like I said, flexible, knowing that, take what they enjoy and incorporate it into the classroom as well. Content, as we also meet with the science and social studies teacher, and we try to build the vocabulary for them in the reading room, so that when they go into social studies, they're seeing it more than once, or science, they're seeing it more than once. Because I think it's important that it's not just something that's given, but it's something that's mastered, and they get to use it. It's not just given, okay, I taught that, and we move on.
Thank you, Ms. McCormick. Can you guys talk briefly about the role of families? How are you incorporating families in your day-to-day and building community with them to also help with the success of your students?
So our PTA, they're at our front door daily. Every day you walk in and they're greeting our families, our students. We have a monthly PTA meeting. They're invited into our classroom, so they sit with the teacher at times. We have class parents. Our teachers send them unit messages. So here's what we're learning in this unit. This is how you could support your child. We also are a community partner, we're reading partners, so they come in and they do work with actually coming to the school in a few weeks to do work with our families. And so they're really invested in all the work that we do, and we keep them abreast as well. I meet with our PTA president at least twice a month, and so we talk about the needs of our students, our classrooms, so that we're all together as a community.
The same at Obama. Our parents are really a part of the data team. Like I mentioned before, the parents do own the data with their children. And so, you know, when we do things like the MAPS testing happens a couple of times, Performance Matters happens, we do invite the parents to come in and experience part of it, because we weren't sure that they really believed the heavy lift the children have to do. So when we have them come in and take the practice in the SLA, they're like surprised, like, the kids have to do this in this amount of time? This is how fast they have to move? Yeah, they do. So once they come in and they get to see what we are trying to get their children to do, they buy into it, they find supports at home, and they really partner. I'm gonna be honest, there would be no way to get to 79% without the parents. It's just no way. We are at the mercy of parents at Obama. At being a new school and the rule that you can go to any school you want. I have 7 kids in the whole school that walk. Everyone else has to drive to get there. And it's the parents that get them there for tutoring, for Saturday. They really buy into everything that I'm trying to do. And I think this probably is the first time since I've been principal of Obama that I've really seen a group of parents partner with the leadership team. I don't think I've ever seen it before. And this is almost my 30th year in the district.
That's a great idea.
One thing that we do is we have the parents come in to show them how to log into the programs that the kids use at school. I feel like a lot of times when we would just send home the usernames and the passwords, and we would say, please go on these programs, they didn't know how to actually get into the programs. So we have the parents bring in the students' devices, because our younger kids don't bring their devices home. Our older kids bring their devices home. So we have the younger kids bring in the devices, and we actually log them in, show them how to get to where they need to go in the program, and I feel like that's really helped as well.
Thank you, Ms. McCormick. So for our final question, people really want to know, as Director Oslin said, what is the secret sauce? And just, if you could tell everyone in just 2 sentences, what are you doing? And you said it in full, but what are you doing in 1 sentence that could really help leverage and drive home literacy and learning for families?
I would say make sure students can read. Thank you. I'm sorry. I would say make sure your students can read. I would say make sure, like she stated, that her kids are reading in pre-K. We make sure our students, our bilingual students, are reading in kindergarten. I can show you many videos where my parents are posting on class, my teachers are posting videos of kids that cannot speak English, but they can read in English, but that's because we make sure in kindergarten our students can read. And we do that starting from day 1. And I think that, for me, especially now when we don't know what's happening on the NJL or what SLA, where we don't know what's happening. We know that they're changing the format. So if they're changing the format, the only thing we can do is make sure your students can read, because reading is everything.
Thank you.
I would say that it's investment and commitment. We don't use buy-in at our school. You have to be invested in this work. You have to be committed in this work. And so it comes from the admin to the teachers to the parents to the students. We all have to advocate for each other. We have to be invested. We have to be committed.
Thank you.
At Obama, one thing we really push more than anything is the attendance. So Obama has a 96, 97% attendance every month, and that's the only way. If you get the kids in the school, I'll do my job and I'll get them where they gotta go. Just bring them, and I'll do the rest. Just bring them in the building.
I think not only just knowing how to read, but loving reading. And knowing and enjoying it and making the content come to life so that the students want to do it, so they're invested.
Thank you. Let's give these principals and teacher a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have to acknowledge, you'll notice in the program there are 2 additional schools listed, Maria Copeland at North Star Academy and Principal Christopher Pringle from Gray Charter Academy, and also Robert Treat Academy is also not on the stage with us, but we want to give them a round of applause and acknowledge their hard work as well. It is the mayor's goal that every child in this city has access to learning, that we're leveraging what they're showing up with, and that we are pushing our students to meet their full potential. Often when there are conversations about the city of Newark, especially if you're on Facebook, we're often seen in a negative light. Even when we're having a winning week like we're having this week with all our winners, we still have to make sure that we're highlighting that brilliance exists here. Brilliance is among our students. Sometimes we as the leaders, the educators, aren't properly leveraging it. So we want to make sure that we're investing in students, that we're leveraging what they're showing up with, and we're pushing our students to their fullest potential. Thanks again to the audience and to the principals and teachers here today. Okay, before this concludes, we would also like to hand out a set of awards to each of these principals. I'm actually going to start with Principal Gilliam because we also want to acknowledge that Principal Gilliam is not only an MVP with her literacy scores, but also with her math scores. So let's give her a round of applause. Can you tell us your math score?
My math, I think it was
68% proficiency in math at Michelle Obama School. We also would like to call up Michelle Obama fourth graders. These are our students with perfect scores. Fourth graders, come up to the front. Congratulations. Let's give them another round of applause. All right, the next award we have is for Dr. Wicks, principal at Sir Isaac Newton. Can we also have the fourth graders from Sir Isaac Newton come up to the stage? Also perfect scores? These are also students with perfect scores. These students are also a set of students who receive perfect scores on NJSLA. Principal Hayward, right? Okay, sorry. All right, guys, thank you. Congratulations. Another round of... Okay, and for our last award today, we have an award for Principal Hayward of Maria Varisco Rogers School. All right, can we also have the fourth graders from Maria Varisco? Congratulations, guys. Come on up. Come on up. These are also perfect scores. All right, thank you, guys. All right, there's actually one more. Principal Trillo from Robert Treat Academy is not here, but his students are. So students, come on up to the front. And the teachers. These are also fourth graders. They are. Come on up.
We're the administrators, just representing Mr. Chilla, sorry.
All right, let's give a round of applause for these students as well. All right, now we're really done. Thank you all.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Oh, I cannot hear you. Good morning, everyone. One more time, but we could just have a round of applause for all of our principals, our parents, our teachers, everyone who's doing a great job across Newark to make sure we're addressing our literacy outcomes. So really quickly, my team and I will be quick. My name is Ahmad Watson. We're with the Joseph C. Cornwell Center at the with Metropolitan Studies at Rutgers Newark. And what we're here to do today is just give you a little information and data around how students, like children in Newark, are performing across the state. I know we had the opportunity to highlight some principals who are doing great work in Newark. So what we wanted to do is come here and show you today that despite the demographics that exist, we can do well. We can do well everywhere. All it takes is community. All it takes is extra tutoring, support, and us coming together through collaborative efforts to really make sure we can make sure our students are pushing and our students are doing better and we're doing good in literacy. So I really wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you all for coming. And we're just going to run through some slides that'll show you some brief data. When you look at this data, just ensure that it just tells a story, but we'll give you the link so that you can take time and your personal time to look at the data and really go through everything so you can see how students of various demographics are performing across the state. So the Joseph C. Cornwell Center is a research center at Rutgers Newark where research meets practice, where the ultimate goal is to figure out how we can utilize our intellectual talent to be able to improve communities across the state, more so underserved communities and marginalized communities. We're here today to show you some data that's centered around literacy rates across the state and how students that look like us, students that are the main representative in Newark, are doing across the state, and how we can continue to do better and really work together to reach our literacy goals. So the work in this presentation was conducted by Constance Clark, who works at the Cornwell Center, and then it's going to be presented today by Marcus Anthony and Constance Clark, who are going to go through some of the data and figuring out how we can work to support literacy throughout Newark, and to be able to briefly walk you through what we think is statewide data that reveals certain things about third grade data and highlight some patterns that you all may be interested in so that you can take a deeper dive into how we can work to improve literacy rates across the state in Newark. The purpose of this study, or the purpose of us looking into this data, is to figure out what trends are showing across various schools, various districts across the state, and how can we share these findings with those who are trying to work towards improving literacy and being able to bring in community, being able to bring in teachers and work with principals and really focus on what is working for students and how we can put them in a position to do better. So what we did is we asked a question, right? What does third grade reading outcomes look like across the state? And how do they vary across different groups of students and school needs? You know, some schools, I think there's a narrative out there that high income, majority of population students perform well, right? But what we're here to tell you and show you some data today is that demographic does not necessarily determine success. And despite our demographic in Newark, despite the demographics across communities like Newark, we can excel, we can do better, and we can be in a position to truly improve literacy rates. So I want you all to leave today understanding that, yes, there are challenges. Yes, we were born in the situations we were born in. Yes, we have challenges and they exist. But if you work hard and if you believe in a child and if you can put yourself in a position where you can see them succeeding, we can all succeed. So just give us a round of applause really quick for that. Yeah. All right, so at this time, I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Marcus Anthony, who's just going to walk you through some of the data around third grade proficiency rates.
Okay, good morning. Yes, still good morning. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to just make one note about the Cornwall Center because some of you may know about us and some of you may not, but we work on various projects, including a freedom school, desegregation project, after-school programs, community grants, as well as doing community continuous improvement and program evaluation. And we're always looking to think about how we can leverage our relationship to work with various stakeholders, community partners, schools, et cetera. And we're about to start working with Michelle Obama soon. You know, this is a partnership we've wanted for a few years, but we had to wait until Ms. Gilliam was ready to let us get in there. So we're really excited about that. And so you see the purpose and guiding questions. One of the things we want to see is what do third grade reading outcomes look like across the state and how they vary across different groups of students. And so when we're looking at New Jersey, we are able to see a lot of variation between schools and student groups. We've seen some schools who've had very high proficiency rates while others lower rates. And we've seen these differences appearing in different subgroups across every school need category. And so it's important for us to understand that the demographic composition of a school does not tell the full story about outcomes, and the data reveals substantial variation. And I know I'm talking a lot. We don't have a lot of time to talk today, but the slides will be available for people who are interested in looking at them independently, or if you're interested in coming to the Cornwall Center or us going to you and talking about this as well as partnering. And so when we look at our models, we look at the percentage of students who are economically disadvantaged, multilingual learners, the percentage of students who speak a language other than English at home, and the percent of students meeting proficiency benchmarks in reading and math. And together, all of these indicators create a broader picture of school level need, allowing us to truly examine how reading outcomes vary across the context. Now, again, a disclaimer really quickly. When we think about need category, it's operationalized based on many different factors. And can we go back one slide? And the factors that I want us to look at are going to be, they're listed here. When we're thinking about economically disadvantaged, multilingual learners, people who speak another language other than English at home, and proficiency benchmarks in reading and math. And this is how we come up with the need in this particular context. And so I'll pass it on to my colleague, Dr. Constance Clark.
Hi guys, so what we're scrolling through is select slides from an even larger presentation. And if you visit that QR code and that link, you'll get a link to the full presentation, a link to the list of schools that we looked at by subgroup, by group, and by the third grade reading proficiency score. And if you look at the first slide of that data, in the speaker notes, I put my email in there, so if you have any questions about what you're going through, I'm happy to walk you through that. I just want to give you some brief closing remarks. We basically looked at by need, as Dr. Marcus Anthony explained. We looked at different levels of need categories. We could make meaningful comparisons across groups, and we also looked across and within different groups of students. And what we see is across New Jersey, reading outcomes vary widely across schools, need levels, and student groups. While these familiar patterns exist, they don't tell the full story. In every group we looked at, there are schools where students are performing at particularly high levels. When we looked at economically disadvantaged students, in the very top, the top 10% of the state, leading the state of those top 10%, 7 Newark schools are represented in that top 10%. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. And we find lots of other examples where Newark is represented among the top 10%, the top 20%. So keep it up. We also find that schools are challenging traditional patterns. There are some schools that we categorize as high need. They're doing very well with particular groups of students, while some schools are categorized as low need. They have more privileged backgrounds or less populations of traditionally underperforming, what we know as traditionally underperforming students aren't doing very well. And these patterns suggest that student outcomes are not as predictable as we often assume. They also suggest that school demographics alone do not explain where strong reading outcomes are occurring. And this creates a very important opportunity to better understand what is happening in these schools that we're identifying in the top 10%, the very tip top of performance across the state, and to ask what might we learn from them. So the QR code will give you a link to the full presentation and data tables where you can explore these patterns in more detail. Please feel free to reach out with any questions you have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good job.
Good morning, everyone. How is everybody doing? I'm so happy to see so many of you here. Oops. My name is Anna Coates. I'm the Assistant Director of Public Services for Newark Public Library, and I am so excited that we have 3 different children's authors here, and I'm going to introduce them. First up, we have Tarana Peaches, author of Wacky Zacky. After this panel, she's going to be signing at our table, so make sure you get a free copy of Wacky Zacky. Come on up, Tarana.
Thank you. Before I read, because I am going to share this book with you guys, I just wanted to thank you for even having me here. Truly a privilege. And I just wanted to also say to the children here who are aspiring authors, who have their own stories to tell, Newark has your back, okay? If you guys tell your stories, this city will support you. The evidence is here, okay? The fact that we're here now, that they are investing so much in early literacy, in literacy in general, I am just truly honored to be a part of what is happening here. So I just wanted to thank the city under Mayor Ross Baraka's leadership, Newark Public Library, who's giving you guys all a copy of this book that I am going to read. So again, Tarana Peaches, the illustrator of the book is Henrique Sirampazzo. He's from Brazil. And just to tell you a bit about Wacky Zacky in general, this is the second book in the series. So the first one is Wacky Zacky Bugs Out. It's about a young innovator who loves the outdoors but hates bugs. So he comes up with an invention to rid the world of bugs. And of course, that is not without consequences. And then I am going to read a bit of the second book in the series, which is Wacky Zacky Litterbug Zapper. Wacky Zacky. I've read this book before to some students from Michelle Obama, so I don't know if some of you guys recognize it, not sure. Okay. Zacky is wacky, inquisitive too. He asks lots of questions, as scientists do, like, why does my dad seem to love the word no? And what is that sound in the bushes below? A cute little bird with a cute little squeak has a not so cute scrap in his cute little beak. He can't get it out with his wings or his feet. Dear Zachy is worried. This bird cannot eat. He reaches to help, but to Zachy's dismay, the bird is afraid and in turn flies away. Then a girl passing by with 2 braids in her hair leaves her trash on the sidewalk, perhaps unaware. Excuse me, you dropped that. She prances on by. Hello, you just littered. She does not bat an eye. Zachy thinks of the bird and he can't let this go. Litter is bad. Do people not know? It makes the land dirty, the air starts to stink, it pollutes all the oceans and water we drink. It's killing the fish and it's spreading disease. They can't throw down their trash wherever they please. Down with the litter bugs, off to the shed. Ideas start bouncing inside Zachy's head. In a box, Zachy locates a shabby toy boat, a radio, zapper, a broken remote. With sensors, antennas, both red wires and blue, repurposing items, he builds something new. The litter bug zapper is ready to rock. The next person who litters is in for a shock. And if you want to know what happens next, you're going to have to come over to the Newark Public Library table to get your signed copy of Wacky Zachy Litterbug Zapper. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tarana Peaches. Let's give her an extra round of applause. Let's see. Next up, we have 2 authors, Councilman Kelly Dupre Kelly and Kyrie Williams, who are also friends of the library, authors of You Can Do It All. They are doing a tour of all our library branches. Their next one is going to be March 28th at our Van Buren branch in the Ironbound. So if you want a free copy of You Can Do It All, please come over to see Councilman Kelly and Kyrie Williams read You Can Do It All. So let's give them a round of applause to come up right now. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
As I'm sure all of you are, my spirit is just full from hearing so much wonderful, wonderful information about the power of literacy, the power of community, us coming together to a place like this to celebrate literacy, to celebrate our babies, the children, young and young at heart. And all of those things is what really inspired myself and Councilman Dupre, Do It All Kelly, to create this book, which is called You Can Do It All.
Do you want me to turn pages?
Yes, please. Because it's an inspiration and it's something that we want to put into the children to let them know that they can do anything they put their mind to, because it starts in the mind. But it's also a reminder to us as the parents, because we forget throughout our journey that we can still do anything. We're still possible of reinvention and doing anything. So this is Dupre. He has a very special power. He can do it all. All he has to do is put his mind to it, and he can make it happen. Dupre had a dream to become an actor. He auditioned for the school play. He was so excited. He tried his best, but he tried his best, but someone else got the leading role. He was so sad. He never gave up. He kept practicing. He auditioned the very next year, and he was cast in the leading role. He did it. That's the perseverance that we're talking about. Dupre had a dream to become a rapper. He wrote rhymes in his notebook every day and practiced his performance. He tried out for the school talent show, but the judges thought Dupre was not that good. He was so sad. He never gave up. He kept practicing, and the next school year, he got to perform in front of the entire school at the talent show. He did it. Dupre, he really can't do it all. He did a lot. Dupre had a dream to become class president. He went on a campaign and talked to all of his classmates. However, on election day, he did not have enough votes to become class president. He was so sad, right? Yeah. He never gave up. He kept talking about his ideas. And the next year, Dupre ran for school president and won. Again, say it with me, he did it. That's right, that's right. Dupre did all of these things because he believed in himself. He worked hard, and he never stopped believing in himself. And just like Dupre, you too, both parents, educators, principals, and students, you too can do it all. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause to Kyrie Williams and Dupre Kelly. And let's give a round of applause to ourselves for that message, because we can do it all. Let's see. Our next author up is Omobichukwu Miracle Moses Eche, author of Busted Tire. All right. Let's give the author another round of applause. We are so excited to have you here with us today.
Morning, everyone. My name is Omobi, but I like to go by Moses, and I'm a 13-year-old author, and I've written 3 books so far. And I would like to talk about my 3rd book, which talks about a man named Mike, and how, like, first of all, the book is called The Busted Tire, but it also talks about how, like, his life is like a busted tire, because, like, he goes through different challenges in his life, and we're talking about a grown man right now. He goes through different challenges, like addiction and everything, but it also talks about how God is able to see him through. So I'm gonna just read a little bit about it. So it says, the smoker Mike wakes up on his dirty bed, craving to smoke near the window side. So Mike starts dressing up to go to the liquor store. But when Mike goes up to his car to start it up, nothing happens. Mike tries again and nothing happens. After a while, Mike gets a hold of himself. As he checks out his car, he sees his engine doesn't work and his tires is also busted. The thoughts of bills that you have to pay floods his mind, and he thinks about the life that he is living as a result of him getting off the track that God set for him. But through all of this, I would also like to skip to the end, because at the end it talks about how as Mike is on his bed, his 2 boys named Sam and Cam, who are now 3 years old, open the door and hug Mike as they say a prayer. Mike takes his family to a 4th of July parade, hugging his family as they watch the fireworks explode in the sky. So it's talking about how Mike, even through everything he goes through, even through his life, after his life goes off track, after losing his parents and everything, talks about how he's able to persist through everything and overcome his addiction. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause to Moses. Let's see. Moses, did you say you were 13 years old? So young. We have so much talent in this city. Let's give a round of applause. Let's see. Now, one of the library's literacy goals is to get every child in Newark a library card. One of the ways we're doing this is we have every single third grade class in the Newark public school system visiting their local branch to visit the library, get a tour, and get a library card. Let's give a hand to our staff who do all this work. And if you do not have a library card, you can stop over at our table. We have library card applications today. Anyone who lives, works, or goes to school in Newark can get a card, and we will mail it to you. Thank you very much.
My name is Lucy Gracia Brown. I am an employee of the Office of the Mayor in the Education Office. It's my pleasure to introduce our very special guest, an artist, a singer, an actress, a producer, an activist, a philanthropist. Notori Naughton is all of that and more, being the star of the hit TV show Power, Power Book 2. Let's give her a round of applause for all of her. Yes, hometown girl from East Orange and Newark. We claim her as well. Notori is just a wonderful human being. She has excelled in Hollywood. Now she's a producer, an executive producer. And recently she just sold a show called The Nowhere Man. 6-part series, filmed in the motherland, and came back and sold it to Starz, and it was #1 on the Starz platform. Yes, that's power. Please join me, and I celebrate her achievements as a mother, daughter, wife, and my friend for almost 30 years, Miss Notori Naughton Lewis.
Wow, thank you so much, Lucy. She's known me since I was about 10 years old. It feels good to be back home here in Jersey. I am from East Orange, and I claim Newark because I went to the Newark Community School of the Arts, and I continue to sing. That's how I know the beautiful Lucy. Thank you for that awesome introduction. I started off my career singing the national anthem for many officials in the government. One of them was Mayor Sharp James, may he rest, Sharp James of Newark, New Jersey. When I was coming up, he used to pay me $100 to sing a song. I used to sing the national anthem. I sang America the Beautiful. I sang Lift Every Voice and Sing, our Black national anthem. So it's really amazing to be back here in Newark. But it is especially, I think, amazing to be here in Newark for this awesome celebration of literacy and the arts. Let's give it up for all the authors and all the people. Big ups to Dr. Brown for having me and bringing me here and celebrating this awesome event. I'm so appreciative. And to the mayor, oh my gosh, Mayor Roz, I mean, he is awesome. He is awesome, and I know I might have missed him, but shout out to the mayor for really caring about Newark and our reading and our literacy and celebrating artists like myself, who is born and raised and from here, so this is amazing. I am a mother, as Lucy said, of 2, and I am also a wife. Shout out to my husband who's here, to Lewis, my family. I got the whole table, the Naughtons, the Lewises, the Mosleys, the Caesars, everybody. Yes, I'm so grateful for just support and love. And one thing as a mother that was important to me is teaching my children the importance of reading. Particularly my daughter, who is now 8 years old, who is an avid reader. This girl reads books like she's drinking water. And she is in the 3rd grade reading at a 6th grade level. And that is because I made it a point to make her enthusiastic about reading and make her passionate. And that's what I want all the young people to know today. There is power in your literacy. Pun intended, power. You know, Team Tasha in the building? Okay. For all you power fans out there, let's get powerful for our kids and reading, okay? Let's make sure that we celebrate them. I am an advocate for literacy because if it wasn't for my education, which I went to Seton Hall University, I said, okay, SHU, some pirates in here, all right. I am a proud advocate because I had to be able to be educated to read contracts, to be in the music business as a teenager. For those who are older who remember 3LW, that was some time ago, but yes. Shout out to the OGs who know. But that is important because without literacy, I would have been through a lot. I've already been through a lot, but I would have been taken advantage of over and over again because I can't read what that paper says. Another thing that's important is that we educate our children on art. The power in being an artist, just the arts and literacy and how they work together. It's really important that we give them a chance to express themselves through writing, through becoming authors. We got any young authors out here? Anybody who aspires to write their own book one day? Young, old, whatever age you are, come on, give it up for yourselves. Because everyone has a story, right? We all have our story. And I actually stand here today to tell you all my aspirations of writing my own book one day. So soon I'll be back and we'll be doing a book signing, maybe at the Book of Knowledge. Shout out to the Source of Knowledge, excuse me. And that bookstore, which had hosted us, me and my daughter read with Dr. Brown for her show. So it's amazing to be here in Newark, New Jersey. Oh, I got another family friend. Al Bundy is in the house. Thank you so much, Al, for all your support and love. And I also want to shout out something special. My father, may he rest, he passed away. He wrote a book that I think this city really could use and we should support and advocate. It was called Fable of Love. If you guys are able to go to Amazon and look up A Fable of Love, was my father's book about how love, above all things, is the most important and conquers everything in that emotion. You know, there's going to be strife, there's evil, there's good, there's bad. But at the end of the day, love survives and conquers all. So do check out my dad's book, A Fable of Love, on Amazon if you'd like to support. That would mean a lot to me. And one thing that my father always taught me, and I know he's here in the room today, is to make sure that you know what's on paper. He always said, if it's not on paper, it's not quite real. Because a lot of people will say something, but they don't do that thing. If you don't have it on paper, and if you don't know for sure, a lot of times it could get murky. So for all the young people, hear me out. Make sure you get your contracts in writing and make sure they sign on the dotted line, okay? Have a paper trail. That's so important. So I just really am excited to be hosting, moderating this panel. We've got some awesome people, great books and authors. You guys have heard some of them today. I am really, really excited to be here, and I can't wait to introduce the panelists. So let's start this panel and bring up Tarana Peaches, the author of Wacky Zacky. Thank you for being here. You look lovely. Sure, yes, have a seat. And next, I know we have a replacement. Shout out to Do It All, Councilman Dupree Kelly. I've known him for years too. Grew up with my brother in East Orange and Newark. He wrote an incredible book that I can't wait to read to my 2-year-old son. You Can Do It. But we have Kari Williams, who is going to join our panel. and talk about You Can Do It. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. Whichever chair y'all want to be in. Okay. The next book we have is called Busted Tire. And Amobi, Miracle Moses Eche, come on through. Thank you so much for being here and for your book, Busted Tire. We are going to chat and answer some questions. I'll sit here so that I'm not blocked by the podium. You can stay. Oh, okay. I didn't know who's going to move that, because I need to be visible. All right, there we go. Y'all good? Everybody good? Y'all ready to get this thing started? Let's get a little clap, a little energy. I'm in the house. I'm at home in Newark, New Jersey. That's awesome. Okay. So let's begin to chat a little bit. Everyone get a microphone for our panelist. I got you. Oh, sorry, red one. And it matches your outfit. Yeah, she need that fuchsia. All right, let's make sure everyone is on. Testing 1, 2. You guys are good? All right. Well, first off, if you'd like to say anything, let's start with you, Tarana, on what inspired you. Just give us a little bit of backstory about you, and then we can jump into specific questions about Wacky Tacky. Okay. And let's show them.
Wacky Zacky Bugs Out. Again, this is the first book in the series, and it was inspired by my own Wacky Zacky. So I do have 3 sons. My oldest son, who's now 11, Nathaniel, he is the one that inspired the story. So we were camping one day, and he asked me, he said, I love camping, but I just cannot stand the bugs. Why do we have to have bugs? And as a former science teacher, I know the answer to that. And I thought, I wonder how many other kids want to know the same thing. And so this was supposed to be a homeschool project between Nathaniel and I. But once I started writing and I felt like he wasn't taking it seriously enough, I just continued on my own because I'm like, I think I have something here. And then the character, Zacky's, the illustration, inspired by my second son, Nehemiah, who's 9 years old. He used to have really wild hair, and so the illustrator captured that pretty well. And the name, my youngest son, Noble, his middle name is Zechariah, so that's where I got the Zacky from. So I got all 3 of my boys in here.
Wow.
And I do have a daughter, Nariah, who is officially 1 year old today. So happy birthday,
Nariah. Wow. So you are a mom of 3 boys and 1 girl, so a mom of 4. Give it up for that alone. I am a mother of 2, and I'm like, girl, so tell us how, and you're also a science teacher, so how do you do it now that you've become an author? How are you managing all of that? Because I know, for all the moms out here, give it up for yourselves. Yes. It's not easy to have a career as an author and as a mother of 4. So what is your balance like?
So I will say I am doing this by the grace of God alone because it is obviously not easy, but seriously, not to sound like cliche or, really is God's grace, because there are days where I question, am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? And I just feel like in all of it, His grace is sufficient. So that is...
And you're homeschooling your children,
and
too.
Homeschooling. And, yes.
Woo. So, well, give it up. That's awesome. We're so proud of you. Let me make sure I'm saying your name correctly. Can you tell us, the audience, your name one time? Can you hand him your mic just while we figure out his? Thank you. Moses. Okay, thank you. So... can we just use the mic that's working? All right, thank you. Okay.
My name is Amobi Miracle Moses Eche, but I like to be called by Moses.
Moses, okay, Moses, that's a powerful name. So how old are you now? And I've heard you've written 3 books, 3 published books by this young man. That is awesome. Tell us, how old were you when you wrote your first book? And what inspired you to start writing so early in your life? First, tell us how old you are.
I'm 13.
13. Oh, he's tall. Okay, come on, 13. That is awesome. So you've written 3 books. How did you write your first book, and what inspired you to write that book?
When I wrote my first book, I was 11, and what inspired me was that it's quite simple. I was at church, and they said if you wanted to write a book, that they would support you. So I just told my mom I wanted to write a book.
Wow, he started, so the church really inspired you. Come on. That's what inspired me. It's funny because your church community can often be the very thing that reassures you and affirms you, because my first solo was 6 years old. So big ups to you for allowing your church home to love on you and support you. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And what did you write about? What inspired that story?
What I wrote about was that I think when I was 11, I was in 6th grade. So I just wrote a middle school story, like something simple.
6th grade, yeah, just simple life, right? I'm sure there's a lot going on in 6th grade. Well, I love it. That is incredible. Well, we are proud of you. Now, Dupree, Kelly, I know he's not here, but Kari, am I saying it right?
Kyrie, like the basketball player.
Kyrie, like the basketball player. Oh, so can you shoot hoops too?
Well, I wish.
Come on, Kyrie. But great name. And this is mutually a book that you both wrote together, so I want to make sure we give props to Kyrie Williams and also Councilman Dupree Kelly for You Can Do It All. And I love that, the pun of do it all. I just love it. Tell us a little bit about this book and, you know, just you achieving international success in the music industry. So it's interesting how you kind of come from that background, Lords of the Underground. Shout out to the Lords of the Underground. So using this platform to represent Newark on a global stage, what made you decide to jump into this with Councilman Dupree?
So no, it's a phenomenal question. I've been on Councilman Kelly Do It All to do his memoirs for a long time, because I think a lot of us know him and his story, that he comes from right here, but there's so much that a lot of people don't know, and so many fascinating stories and triumph, peaks and valleys of life. And after many conversations, I said, okay, well, if we can't do the memoir right now, let's do a children's book. Let's
Smart.
make digestible stories for children, but also have those lessons and those stories for us, for the parents, for adults. And it was meaningful for me at the time because this is my daughter, this is Skylar, say hi.
Hi. Aw,
And
so cute.
when she was born, and I was working at Spotify I'm a podcast producer by trade, and I was laid off, which is, not great,
Wow.
Anybody that's been laid off, they understand the feeling of just trying to
Yeah,
figure
I'm
out
sure.
what's next
Many
for
can
you
go
in your
through
life.
that, yeah.
And I remember as we were writing this book together, thinking like, wow, as much as we are emphasizing that this is about children and putting inspiration into children, I need this right now. I need these stories. I need to be reassured that this isn't it. This is just a blip. This is just a valley. There's more peaks to come. And I know if I feel like that, and I mean, in the grand scheme of things, of all the unfortunate things that can happen to you, getting laid off from a job isn't the worst, but it is something when you're going through it. So I know there's so many people that are going through things, deep valleys, that are reading to their children, that are also speaking these things to themselves. So that is what inspired us to make the book.
Wow.
And now it's just, I'm getting re-inspired by being here.
Aw, well, that's awesome. Give it up for Kyrie. And I just think as a lyric, yes, go ahead.
Also, Wacky Zachy is also an inspiration because I met you at a Juneteenth event 2 years ago, right out front of Source of Knowledge. Shout out to Source of Knowledge Bookstore.
Yes.
And
they have every book, okay? I was in Source of Knowledge with my daughter, and she thought she went to the book heaven.
Oh, same.
I mean, because every book in there was, and it's such a celebration of our culture. So shout out to Source of Knowledge. Thank you for what you do in our community.
yeah, so I met her right outside at a book fair that they were having for Juneteenth. And I asked her, how did you write this book? And what's the process? And she was so gracious and so welcoming and sat and talked with me. Of course, I purchased the book and she graciously signed it. And then, I said, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah.
This can be done.
Now I want all three of these books on this stage, and for all the future authors, I want to see what y'all write, because this is what it's about: sharing knowledge and also sharing information. At the end of the day, you can have a dream, but if you don't have someone on your team or someone that you meet that's willing to help you achieve that dream, the dream can potentially die. So we as people, particularly here in Newark, New Jersey, we have to support each other. We have to listen when people say they are in need. We have to think, how can we be resourceful and put those dreams into action? So God bless you for doing that. And I also want to point out with Do It All and for you guys doing You Can Do It All, how does lyricism, I think what's cool is, coming from, I was a music artist, a singer. I did a little rapping as Lil' Kim. Yeah, I rapped a couple things, but I think it's important, thank you so much. But I think it's important to point out, since this is a literacy symposium, the definition of the word lyricist. So a lyricist focuses on the technical, poetic, and thematic content of words, using metaphors, complex rhyme schemes, and storytelling to convey deep meaning, often emphasizing writing ability over performance. So a rapper centers on performance, flow, delivery, charismatic execution of rhythm to connect it. Oh, y'all thought I was about to bust a rhyme right there. I know. But to connect with your audience, how is being, for Councilman Kelly and for yourself, how does that influence a book like this and using a little bit of that musicality and lyricism to your advantage?
Absolutely, yeah. Understanding, like you said, understanding the words and the usage of words. The flow being, from a music sense, what we know what that is, but also the flow of a story. Understanding climax, understanding repetition, understanding the keywords. You can do it all. He did it. He never gave up. Reinstilling those things. That's what we do in music. That's what we do in lyricism. And words are powerful. Words can be weapons. Words can be inspirational.
Amen.
Depending on how you use them. So we chose to use them to inspire.
I love that. Give it up for that. And speaking of inspiration, did y'all see the Oscars the other night? Because I am feeling very inspired by our very own Michael B. Jordan of Newark, New Jersey. Shout out for his very first Oscar win. I remember meeting young Michael B. when he was in Newark, and I met his mom, and we did a pilot together. And it's just incredible to see so many people be successful that are right here, that are from here. So it's just a reminder, particularly to the young people, you are from here, and there is goldenness in the streets that you are walking on. There are platinum, okay? She took it up a notch, diamond. Platinum, diamond. But think about all that you have to see in your future is to know that it is possible. To know that someone, even like myself, that is from here actually made it to the Oscars and won. And that is a big deal. So let's give it up for inspiring the next generation by being proof. We are the evidence, right? I want to ask you, Tarana, just a little bit more about knowing, what your life journey is like, multitasking as an educator, a mom, homeschooling. What led you to create Wacky Zacky Bugs Out? And then also, is that aligning with your love of science? Like, where did your love of science come from? And how did you kind of put that into this series?
So, confession, science was not my strongest topic growing up.
Oh, wow.
I remember in high school, so I went to high school in East Orange, and my biology teacher.
I'm from East Orange.
I went to East, I don't want to put my age out there, but I went to East Orange High School, not campus.
Got it.
But my high school biology teacher told me I should major in biology. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to do that. And I did. And then eventually ended up teaching right alongside him. And I was like, you cursed me. But it was very difficult for me just because I like artsy things. I love storytelling. I science just wasn't really, it's nonfiction, right? But one thing I will say about science is that it's also literacy. It really, everything that you're hearing, you're going to hear it again and again because it's true. Literacy, if you can read, you can understand science. A lot of children, when I taught middle and high school science in East Orange and Irvington, a lot of the students would come in just already declaring that they hated science or that science was hard without ever really giving it a chance. But the reality is, if you can read and comprehend, science actually could be kind of fun. So my love for science evolved. It definitely did not start that way. And as far as with the children's books, because I never did teach elementary science, this is really a way for me to get into the schools, so to speak, on the elementary level, because a lot of the students were coming to me, middle school, high school, not knowing anything about science, and there's things that they could have learned. For example, in Wacky Zacky Bugs Out, I introduced the scientific method. 6th grade is not the first time you should be hearing the scientific method. You guys use it all the time. Whenever you're problem solving, if you're making something in the kitchen, you're experimenting, if you're trying different hairstyles, if you're trying to figure out what to wear, this is all like problem solving, experimenting. You're going through the steps without even realizing it. So I would love to see more of our children realize that they, just like Wacky Zacky, can actually do science as well. So,
Yes, be encouraged.
Be
That's
encouraged,
awesome.
yes, definitely.
And science we need more, I think, scientists, chemists, physicists, like all of those things. These are careers that we don't see enough of us in. So I encourage you guys to dig into science. And that discovery of creating something and seeing what reacts, I think it's really amazing. So, yeah. And any advice, a last question for you, and then I have something for you, Moses, next up. What would you say to the parents in the room, the educators, those who are trying to homeschool, early childhood, teachers who are involved in developing these young children? Is there any advice that you can give that are aspiring authors, but also just dealing with your child's dreams and how to support them in that?
So I will say, and again, this is kind of echoing what we've heard, literacy starts at home. It starts with the parents. My mother, teenage mom, she had me at 16, single mom. She taught me how to read before I even went to school. And this is why I love, again, what the city is doing, what Dr. Brown is doing. I love this because they're saying we're not going to leave it all up to the schools. We're going to come alongside the schools because this really is a collective effort, right? The coalition, right? So parents, one of the things my mom used to do, just write. The same thing the principals were talking about earlier, just having that block. Write about whatever you want. Tell me about journaling. Write about your day. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I think these are the things that inspired me to write later on, because before you knew it, I was writing songs, and then I was writing scripts, and now I'm writing, children's stories. And I still want to do all of those things and can, right? And can. But you have to actually exercise that muscle, right? So writing, the more you do it, the more it's going to become natural to you, and it's going to be fun at some point. So I
love that. That's such good advice. And I'll just add to that, just from my personal experience, I guess writing for me as a kid was so big because my father wrote a lot. He wrote incredible poems. He would write all these love letters to my mother. And I remember reading just different poems that he would write and different things. And I would be like, Daddy, how do you have a way with words? And I always thought that was a superpower. So I want all the people who are listening today to recognize this is not just us preaching, read your books, learn your schooling, go to school. It's not that word. It's not that. It's actually embracing your superpower, exercising that superpower. And that is in your writing, your ability to read, your literacy. Every Friday, I write my daughter, my 8-year-old daughter, Zuri, a little note in her lunch bag. And it's not a long note, but I write it in cursive because I want her to continue to see and learn how to write and read in cursive, because a lot of people aren't learning that. But I write her a note just saying, do good today, mommy's so proud of you, whatever. But the fact that I write it is important. And I think sometimes we've gotten so far away from, I'll text it to you, or it's digital, Hard copy. I'm old school. That's why I said today, I told Dr. Brown, I said, I need a hard copy of these questions because we have to recognize that as we're reading, we're remembering. So when you choose to write a book, like my father did, again, may he rest, it was his way of saying, I want to be remembered. And that is what a book can do. All of these books, and Moses, I want to ask you about the morale of your books, but I just wanted to emphasize how you are leaving your mark on history when you write a book. All right? Tell us a little bit about, again, show everyone your book so we can see what it looks like and support. Okay, these are he's got all three of them. Come on now, prepared. That's what I'm talking about, a young man who got all three of his books up here. So choose one morale or moral compass that's in your story that you think the audience might be interested to hear. A message, a moral message.
A message that I think is hard work.
Hard work.
Because
speak up a little.
Every day in life, like waking up is hard work because you want to sleep. Most of us, like, if we didn't have no work to do or anything, we would just stay in bed till like 12 p.m. and then wake up.
Oh, this sounds like the vacation I need. He said, if we didn't have work to do, we would just stay in bed till 12 p.m. I said, I wish. But that's awesome. Okay, so hard work, is that one of the moral messages in your book? How so? Give me an example.
Because, like, in my third book, it takes a lot of hard work to be able to overcome addiction. Because you have to really
To overcome, say that again?
Addiction.
He says in his third book, I need you to speak up too, because we want these people to catch it. We don't want anybody to miss it. In his third book, he talks about the hard work of overcoming addiction. That is very real. What made you write about that?
Because addiction is everywhere. Like even the nicest people we know, like, they could be going through something.
Yeah.
So that's why I wrote about it.
That's really deep. Wow, give it up for that vulnerability. Addiction is everywhere. And you know, it's funny, it's crazy, because we're not just sitting here talking about, the happy, the fun. We also can talk about what's real. And a book can be an opportunity to shed light on an issue or something that we need help with. And we all may have touched someone who's suffered from addiction. Somebody may be going through coming out of addiction or experiencing it, but it doesn't mean that it's over for you. And you can come through it, and maybe reading this book, the hard work that it takes to get past your addiction in any different way is possible. So thank you for doing that. That's awesome. Wow. Y'all going deep. So overall, I'm curious, and I'll let everyone just kind of go through and answer. Is there anything that you think you need to be reminded of? Even as you said earlier, this has kind of re-inspired you. Remind the audience, and all while you're reminding yourself, of the importance of literacy and what it means to you. What's the history of literacy for you, and why you want to be reminded of that importance?
Well, that's another phenomenal question. I think for all of the reasons that everybody has said, even about science, when people don't think about the importance of literacy and reading when it comes to science. But for me, my mother is a West Side Rough Rider and a graduate of Rutgers Newark.
Oh.
And
Okay.
growing up, I had books all throughout my house in her library upstairs, criminal justice books, history books, fiction, nonfiction. And I think I didn't, as a child and as a teenager, like a lot of teenagers, and I'm gonna be honest and transparent, I kind of took for granted the wealth that she had up there. I looked at it as it was like wallpaper or just something, like decoration. I'm being honest. And as I got older and as I became a father, this is my youngest, but I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. And when I was blessed to have their curiosity in front of me, asking me about things. Like just yesterday, we did a whole deep dive about Venus flytraps, and I found out that that's a carnivorous plant. I mean, it's something that I probably wouldn't have looked up myself.
Yeah, those deep dives, they get you. You wind up reading and reading.
But my 10-year-old, he's so curious. He wants to know about everything. And to answer your question, literacy, reading, investigation, I don't care if it's on the tablet or in an actual physical book, going to where that knowledge is and reading about it for yourself and not being dictated or told or lied to, let's be honest.
Because they're trying to change our history.
Yes.
And sometimes not knowing, they'll put it in maybe a digital form, and then you're like, wait, I need to see the original book.
Yes.
There have been edits, there have been changes, there are so many things that is important. If you don't know your history, don't let people rewrite it, so we have to be careful about that too.
100%. And it's important for us to continue that legacy of and tradition, as the mayor said, of reading.
Yes, and again, shout out to the mayor. Let's give it up to the mayor who has continued to support this symposium, but also this mission of Newark Reads and Literacy. Same question for you. Anything that you want to remind the audience, and even reminding yourself?
So just, again, echoing earlier, literacy, opportunity, right? And even for myself, like we joke at home, my husband and I, sometimes if we don't fully read something, like reading is fundamental, just to kind of tease each other.
My mother does that. She was like, read. Did you read?
Exactly.
Because that's why you miss stuff if you don't read.
Especially, and to the point that she just made, sometimes you might see an article and you think you know everything in the article just off of the headline. Maybe just read the article, because there's a lot of clickbait and misleading information and headlines. But, going back to the opportunity piece, I majored in biology, as I mentioned. I wanted to major in music. And, unfortunately, I was ill-advised by some adults in my life who said, there's no, future in music, so do something else. And
hello.
Right.
It can happen.
And I definitely was a 3LW fan, so hello.
Oh, thank you.
But, just going, instead of majoring in music, they're like, do something promising, and they told me to be a doctor. I had a better shot at being an international superstar than being a doctor, okay? So this whole just be a doctor thing was low-key crazy, but whatever. The fact that I could read got me my degree, because, again, this wasn't what I wanted to do. It's what I did. It's what I eventually, started to love and appreciate. And what I appreciate, I will say, the most about being a scientist, because I do consider myself a scientist as well as everybody else, to be honest. But one of the things I appreciate the most is critical thinking, that it has taught me to not believe just everything, to question things, right?
That's good.
Stay curious, investigate. I love that word that you used. Don't just take everything at face value. And that is what being a scientist has really, if I got anything out of the degree, it was that and wacky zacky. Am I teaching?
That's a great one. That's really good. Thank you for that. Moses, tell us one thing you want to remind the audience. And I see some young people. I just want to shout y'all out. I see you looking down. I want everybody to look up. Look up, not at your phones. I'm the young one that's going to call you out. Okay? Let's be attentive. Let's take this as an opportunity to learn. Let's be on it, because this is for you. The opportunity is yours, and it's the smart people in the room who are going to grab it. So don't take advantage of it by looking down at that phone. Look up and hear what we're talking about, okay? Thank you. Come on, Moses. Tell the people. What would be a reminder about why literacy, reading, all of the above are important and should be just as important to them?
Literacy is important because if you don't know how to read, then how are you going to succeed? Like, you think about all these rich people and all these great people, the first, the basics, the building blocks of how they became successful was by reading.
Ooh.
And then,
Thank you.
And also because through reading, they were able to understand, the fundamentals of what they were supposed to do.
Y'all heard?
And how to achieve their future.
Yeah.
Because,
see, I love that.
Because, in each of us, we all have a bright future. It's just that there's different distractions in the world. But through reading, we were able to, channel ourselves to doing something we want to do.
That is phenomenal. Give it up for Moses. Reading gives us the ability to channel what we want to do. It is your freedom. We are literally celebrating our freedom many times. I know we out of Black History Month, but for me, it's Black History Month every month.
That's right.
Okay, they try to give us 28 days. I'm taking it all because I want to emphasize what Moses just said. It's a way to channel our way to get to where we want to go. It's our imagination. It is freedom. At one point, historically, Black people could not legally read. And I reminded my daughter of that, and she may not know, and we talk about it, and the young people here today might take it for granted because there was somebody who died for you to be able to read. There was somebody who suffered, who traveled through the woods for you to be able to read. So I just want to emphasize the importance of remembering the ancestors who suffered and came through that just for you to have freedom today. This was an awesome discussion. I hope people enjoyed it. If we want to answer, I don't know if we should open up for questions, Dr. Brown. Is there any time for a quick Q&A? I'm open to a few questions, and then we are going to wrap it up. What are you, any thoughts or? Yeah, we can do a couple. Okay, so all right, so that was awesome. To our panelists, I'm gonna sit up here because I just want to see what y'all doing. I'm all in the biz. Yep. I'm like your cool auntie, but I'm just the cute auntie. So I'm curious. I'll sit here just for a second. What questions do you guys have for potential our panelists? For myself, you can ask away. Yes. What school?
I attend St. Michael's School. It's a Catholic school. It's in Newark.
All right. Catholic school, St. Michael's, you said? Yes. Here in Newark, New Jersey. Great job. I went to Catholic school, too. I went to St. Joseph. I went to Our Lady of the Valley, and also went to Immaculate Conception and Seton Hall University. So Catholic school got me through. Big ups to that. Great question. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. My husband, too, Lewis. Stand up, husband. Wait, we're going to bring the mic now for the questions.
Hey, I have a question for the young man. What do you inspire to be when you grow up?
Anything God wants me to be.
Whoa! Okay, it's church. It's church in here today. The young boy said, anything God wants me to be.
Amen. Amen.
Your spirit is open. You will be blessed because sometimes we have this goal and we set it in our minds. We can only do one thing, or I got to do this. We have to pivot sometimes. I'm writing a book called Power of the Pivot. Look out for it because right now I'm realizing I'm not just an actress. I started as a singer. I'm an actress. Like Lucy said, I'm a producer. I'm a director. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. There are so many things that you can do, and one day you will do it. I'm so proud of you. That was an excellent answer. Anything God wants me to be. Thank you for that. Woo, okay, I'm sorry. I get excited. I love speaking to rooms like this, especially here in Newark, New Jersey. Anybody else, any questions for our panelists, myself? All right, young man, stand up. Can we get the mic to him, please? Wow. We having church in here today, y'all. Thank you, Dr. Brown, for having me. Thank you to Lucy for putting the pieces together. Thank you to the mayor. It's a beautiful room. All right, tell us your name and your age.
My name is Demi from Michelle Obama Elementary School. I am 10 years old.
All right.
What did inspire you guys to make these kind of books?
Oh, great question. Okay, who wants to take that one?
What inspired me to make this book? Well, I'll answer that in short. For young, very smart, gifted brothers like you to be able to read a story with a character that looks like you and to know that you can do everything in this story, which is do it all.
That is awesome. Anybody else want to tackle that, or are we good? We have some more. Yes, and see, I pivoted, and I'm also babysitting while doing a panel.
You can do it all, Notori.
That's what I'm talking about. Do it all. We can do it all. Amen. Any other questions? I saw a hand raised in the back, or someone. Okay, we're coming to you next, ma'am. Yes.
I have a 13-year-old sister.
Nice.
Who likes to write as well. So I was wondering, like, what inspired you to keep going? Because sometimes her encouragement is like,
Yeah, she might get discouraged.
is like limited to certain people as well.
That's
So
a great
what is,
question.
like, some encouraging things.
So one thing I'll share, because I've written things that haven't come to fruition yet that I believe should, because, you know, they're good. And one of the ways that I encourage myself is I go back and read it. Because after a while of just kind of putting something aside, it's easy to, you know, get discouraged or move on and leave it alone. But sometimes I'll go back and I'll read that script that I know is going to be an amazing film one day. And once I start laughing and getting inspired, I realize I just need to keep pushing. So I would say encourage her to go back and read what she wrote and be inspired by her, you know, from herself.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Last question. We'll do maybe two more.
Hello.
Oh, who is?
How you doing?
Oh, who has the mic? Sorry. Oh, hi. I didn't see you. Hi.
That's actually many of my kids.
Okay.
The 13-year-old she's talking about is my daughter.
Mhm.
She has been bullied in school. She has been through a lot. My whole family has, and as a single parent of 9, not a grandmother, but I am a mother of 9. Wow. My first graduate. My 13-year-old, she has this amazing just energy. She likes to write. She's very creative. But her setbacks are trying to please the wrong people. And me as a mother and a teenage mother, I try to instill in my kids the ability to show and express what you have. I became a writer. When I was bullied, I used to write in my book. So my daughter has a lot of writing potential. And I want her to be able to utilize
Channel that, yeah.
and channel that energy. I have another child that suffers from depression, and she also is very creative. So what I do now is I have these groups, and I try to talk to my kids individually and pull them out, give them that empowerment that I know that they have inside them. And so I'm just wondering, my friend, the 13-year-old
Moses.
What Moses? You said in one of your books, about just keeping your head up and stuff like that, and we know that there's a lot of peer pressure out here. What do you do in general to kind of avoid the peer pressure that you might have around you to, be able to do something you don't want to do? How do you handle and perceive it?
So that's a great question. Thank you so much. How do you handle peer pressure, Moses?
Well, my mom always taught me to be a leader, not a follower.
Yes, be a leader, not a follower. That's a word.
So like if they see you doing something good and they like it, if they want to join you, then you're basically starting something else besides peer pressure and bullying other people. Like if they see you helping others, if they see you helping like people who are mentally challenged,
Yeah.
and they like that, they could join you in that, and that creates something, a positive energy in your classroom.
That's good. Positive energy and being a part of the change that we want to see. Great, great, great. Thank you, Moses, and thank you for that question. And we're praying for your daughter and that she continues to thrive. Last question, anyone? Oh, sorry. She had been. I'll come to you. Oh, sorry. Okay, wait. Go ahead, ma'am. We're gonna come to you with the mic. You don't have to strain.
That I'm in this literacy workshop today.
Yeah.
I don't mind telling my age. I'm 71 years old.
All right. Looking good, 71.
And I have my notes, and I plan to write my first book.
All right. Yes.
And I can do it.
Amen.
And everybody around here, the young man over there, everybody telling me today that I can do it. So I do appreciate it because I'm getting everything together. And I want to know, could you please give me some advice?
Oh, wow.
I know I can do it.
Yes.
You already told me. And I knew I could do it before I came here.
Mhm.
But you gave me even more
Inspiration.
not how old you are.
Amen.
That's right.
So I'm
Yes.
asking if you got any advice that you can give me because I am going to
Wow.
write my book.
I love it.
I wanted to say something. People said, don't tell people what you're doing. I don't always believe that. Because for some reason, I've been spilling it out. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book.
Yes.
I'm going to write a book.
Yes.
That's right.
Because you never know how that could inspire
Yeah.
someone who hears that from you.
So I don't believe it. You can't always tell people your business. Because I plan to write a book. So I'm asking y'all, somebody
Yes.
give me some advice.
Oh my goodness. Do you want to?
I would say start, because I think there's a lot of people in this room who can relate to you, who want to write a book. I know I'm talking to somebody because I see some of y'all scratching and trying to look I see you. Start. You have the story, you have the ideas, even if it's an outline, even if it's just a funny scene or something like that, write. Just start writing. And yes, let people know what you're doing, right? But make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're actually writing. You have the plan, now it's time for execution.
Amen.
That's right.
You have anything?
I just echo that fully. Write the book. Just write it.
Just write
Just
it.
do it.
Just do it. Go Nike. It's Nike style. Just do it.
And rooms like this and people like this, you were definitely that for me. You are too. I mean, just
thank
by watching you for a
Thank
long
you.
time.
Thank you so much.
Inspiration is powerful. So you have the inspiration and write the book.
And I'll add to that. Thank you for getting up and sharing your story. It's funny. I was just so inspired because I think often, depending on, like you said, about age, but that could also apply to your complexion, your color, your weight, your height, your size, your nationality. So many things in your mind you may think are the things that are going to stop you or hold you back or prohibit you. But they are the very thing that makes you the perfect person to do the job. Where you are from, what you've been through, whether it be addiction, whether it be, homelessness, whether it be just brokenness as a whole. It could be anything that you're going through, could be your testimony. What you've been through, your parents, your skin complexion. People may have made fun of you, bullying. People may talk about what clothes you have or what things you don't have. It is your testimony. So your book is your testimony. And that is the opportunity to inspire other people to be freed from that oppression of thinking that they can't do it. So thank you for sharing that, because your age is going to make you golden, and it's going to give wisdom to so many people. And I think that's the advice I would give. Share your wisdom. What's your name, ma'am? Cheryl. Cheryl. All right. Give it up for Cheryl. And give it up for yourselves and me babysitting. This baby been good. Say hi. Say hey, baby girl. Is this your daughter? Oh, let's take a picture. Say cheese. Look at daddy. Oh, let's put it. Let's fix your legs. Let's take another.
Okay.
Y'all, I just want to say it gives me great honor. Let's give it up to these incredible panelists, Moses, Tarana, Kyrie, I got it right. My name is Naturi Naughton Lewis. It is an honor to be here because I am from where you are from, and I represent the evidence that anything is possible, that we are designed for greatness. It's not just Michael B. Jordan who can win that Oscar. We can too. Okay, so we are here designed for greatness, and literacy is that first step. So empower yourselves, continue to read, stand up to my panelists. Please, let's probably get a couple photos. And God bless you guys, and thank you so much for having me. Thank you to Newark. Thank you to the mayor, Dr. Brown, Lucy, the entire team who put this incredible event together. Give it up for the event and all the people who have put this together. I thank you, and God bless you, and I'm excited to be here. Y'all have a good one.
Take a picture with your books.
This is Councilwoman Roundtree, Reverend Louise Scott Roundtree, Council Member at Large, coming to say thank you to all of the individuals that are participating. On behalf of the legislative body, we thank you, Dr. Brown. We thank all of the partners and all the individuals. The Newark Reads Literacy Coalition, put your hands together and make some noise for them. Yes. Yes, thank you, thank you. That's it. I'm not saying too much. Who else? It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. She said, tell you it's not over. Bless the food. Amen.
Let's give a round of applause for Notori Naughton Lewis for being here. And to Lewis, I want to acknowledge her mother, Brenda Naughton, her aunt,
my aunt, Beverly Mosley,
Al Bundy, Wendy McKenzie, Hollywood
casting director.
Yes.
We'll be having another probably Power of the Actor workshop for all you aspiring actors in the room. Hit up Wendy.
And then we have Principal Farrell sitting with them and Zakia Bankston. Thank you for being here.
All right, I'm back. That was a great panel, right? Right? Y'all ready to write y'all stories? All right, put it on paper.
All right, everybody. So we're going to keep it moving. I know we're still eating, and that's fine. We're about to have a presentation during lunch. Again, my name is Taina Perez, and I'm the Executive Director of Teach for America New Jersey. We recruit, train, and support teachers here in Newark. And so I have the privilege of introducing our next speaker, Paula White, who is the Executive Director of Jersey Care. Yep, let's shout it out for Paula. I met Paula many years ago when she was a principal, and I was in awe then. And if you have any questions about literacy, how it works, how the brain works, she is your person. And we haven't said it, but it's also Women's History Month. And so I just want to shout out all the women who have been coming up here and dropping knowledge and dropping words. And so without further ado, I have Paula White, Executive Director of Jersey Can.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm going to ask you to get voices down just so that we can have a little bit of attention and just talk very quickly about what you would see in the program under my name or beside my name, which is what to do when you have a struggling reader. So this has been a fantastic day. Before I go any further, we have to shout out Dr. Charnae Brown. Please, everybody, give it up for a wonderful, wonderful day that we have had so far, as well as for our mayor, who obviously without him this would not be occurring. And so I'm going to ask you a question. And when I ask you this question, I want you to just raise your hand depending on what your answer is. Do you think, in terms of how the brain works, is reading more like talking or driving? If you think that reading is more like talking, raise your hand. You know, just like speaking. If you think reading is more like driving, raise your hand. Interesting. Okay. Do you think reading is natural, or do you think it's something that is sort of artificial that you have to be taught? If you think it's kind of more natural and you just kind of figure it out, you can raise your hand. And if you think it's more artificial and you kind of have to learn about it, raise your hand. So here's the deal. Reading is, if you said that reading is more like driving than it is like speaking, you were correct. We are hardwired to learn how to read. To learn how to speak. If you've ever seen the video, my family is Jamaican, and they have a video where they show some Chinese folks in Jamaica, and they're speaking patois, and I'm like, wagwan man, what y'all say and everything. And people are like, oh my goodness, look at them. They're Chinese, and they're speaking English with this accent. Well, you know why? Because whatever speech community you are immersed in, your brain is going to learn how to speak. You really don't have to do that much. It's just going to happen. That is not the case with reading. And that is why we have to teach students to read. Some will get it easier than others, and that's why it's more like driving. Some people, they'll get behind the wheel and they're just going. Some people like me, they'll learn to drive when they're older, and it'll take a long time for them to really figure it out. But we can all do it. I need you to think about 4 things that you can do to help a struggling reader in your life. And I want you to think of the acronym STAR. Everybody say it with me, STAR. We are going to have, with reading, a diagnosis. In the state of New Jersey, we worked really hard to get a law passed. Every child in kindergarten through 3rd grade has to have a screener that lets you know as a parent where they fall on the continuum of reading. Are they on track? Do they need more support? So every child's supposed to have that. If your child didn't have a screener, then that means that somebody's not doing what they're supposed to do. So that's the first thing. So that's the diagnosis. And then you get a prognosis, just like when you go to the doctor. So STAR, that I'm about to tell you, is what you can do with that diagnosis. The first thing is screen time. I hate to tell you, y'all, teachers are really fighting to keep your child's attention. They're watching video games and the screen is changing every 8 seconds. It's moving, it's changing, it's moving, it's changing, it's moving, it's changing. Teachers, we cannot keep up. So we need parents to limit screen time so that way they will have the stamina, the reading stamina, to be able to read and read for an extended period of time. Does that make sense? So the S is for screen time. The second thing that you can do to support a struggling reader is what I'm doing right now, talking. All my children knew how to read really early on. I am proud of that. But a part of the reason for that is because I'm a nonstop talker. And when you talk, when you speak to children, they are building vocabulary. In some communities, by the time their child gets to elementary school, they're 30,000 words behind. Other kids are coming in knowing 30,000 more words than they are. And you're gonna hear that first from speaking. Because children, and we know this from babies, they have, before they produce speech, they are taking in speech, right? So they're listening to all our words, and then that's how they learn to produce speech. So we start off with screen time, we go with talking. That's gonna build vocabulary, and that is gonna get them used to the sounds in our language. So that's talking. The next thing is accountability. At your school, with your teachers, with your principals. We had exemplary principals on this stage. Shout out to our principals. And we know that in order for students to do well, the school has to be doing right by them. So it is up to you to say to the school, is my child reading on grade level, which you should know right now? And if not, what are you doing? What y'all doing? And what am I supposed to be doing? What is my role? What can you tell me that I can do in order to support my child? And then the last thing, which should be obvious to us all, is actually reading. The R in STAR is reading. What does that mean? That means we need to be reading to model it for our children. TV off, phone off, 15 minutes sitting down every day, reading, not reading necessarily with your child. You can do that, but once they start learning, once they know how to read, you have to have a book in your hand while they have a book in their hand, because that is how they will know that reading is important. So if you have a struggling reader, if you know a struggling reader, these are the 4 things that you must think about. The STAR acronym. Make sure that you limit screen time. Make sure that you're talking to them all the time so that they can build vocabulary. Make sure that you are holding the school accountable. And last but not least, make sure that you are actually reading. I'm Paula White. I'm the Executive Director of Jersey Can. We have worked to get laws passed in the state of New Jersey to make sure that it's not just your zip code that will determine if you'll have the opportunity to learn how to read, but that the state will say, these are the things that you must do in every classroom, no matter where we are in the state. And you can follow us on social media to learn more. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. We are ready to announce our providers who are getting access to this amazing curriculum. Still in the room? So I'm going to actually tag Lori Richwood. She's Programs for Parents Infant and Toddler Specialist. She's going to talk briefly about these 3 programs and a little bit about what she does. So congratulations to all the winners today. We are really excited about this partnership. Lori?
Good afternoon. Some of you may already know me. I am the Infant and Toddler Specialist for Programs for Parents, and the network provides technical assistance, consultation, mentoring, and in addition to room arrangement, any resources you need within the infant and toddler area, I'm your girl. Okay, so I want to start off with talking about a program that was built from the ground up. I'm not sure if any of you have had the opportunity in the South Ward area in Bergen. You ever heard of Blondie's Early Learning Academy? Amazing program. You have to stop by. She's opened doors. She's welcomed programs to come in and share her experiences. She can also give you resources and things that she may have to share with you to help increase the quality of your program. Okay, I started out with that program from the very beginning until finished, right? And then we also have in the house Ms. Portia Davis, Essex County College Child Care Center. I'm sorry, Sheena, where are you? We have another prize for you.
So our first winner is Blondie's Academy, Sheena. Sheena is the founding director of Blondie's. They recently opened in the South Ward, and they are not part of Grow New Jersey Kids, and they're not part of the district, and we want to be able to provide them with supports and resources for your first year, so you're getting access to the curriculum.
And we here at the city are here to support this whole process. Our dream is that every center will have all its needs to take our babies on a wonderful literacy journey. So congratulations from the city of Newark. Can we give her a round of applause?
Thank you. I want to say thank you, thank you. You know, it's been my dream since a little girl to teach other children. And I always wanted a center, always wanted a center. I've been working with children since 1978. And, you know, I can't do it. I love the little children. For number one, they don't lie. But they just so sweet and just so innocent and just so, they just so real. They just tell it like it is. And to help them and see them grow, it's amazing. And know the best part about it, when you see children that you have taught or seen grow 20 years later and they accomplish so much, it's a blessing because you had a hand in it, you know. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys. You know I'm a tough cookie, I don't cry much, but this is the best thing ever. I love you. Thank you, Najee. Thank you.
Thank you to the city and Pearson.
Thank you, Mayor Rasborough, for having this nice event for us, the literacy program. Thank you.
You want to take a picture real quick right here, everybody? Somebody take
Essex County College. So Essex County College used to partner with the district. They no longer have a partnership, and we want to make sure that they're strong and supported on their journey. So we wanted to provide them with this opportunity. So here's our new director from Essex County College, Portia.
Hi. So I wasn't expecting this, but I'm very grateful. At Essex County College, I have said that we want to be intentional in everything we do. So I just actually took the position in October. So it's very new for me, but we have excellent teachers, and we have a good relationship with our parents, and I'm very happy to be able to tell them that now we have this extra support. Thank you so much. I'm nervous, but thank you so much. And this is a beautiful event.
And the third provider that was selected, so who did we select? We selected providers that did not have a district contract because they have resources and they have to use a district-approved curriculum. We didn't select providers that were part in Grow New Jersey Kids because they have to go through approved curriculums. We wanted providers that needed the access and the resources center-based that were not part of Grow just yet. So our third provider selected is UDT. So UDT is in the South Ward? South Ward, not yet part of GROW, and so we wanted to also be able to provide access. I will say, I do want family child care providers to have access, so I've been pushing Savas Learning to make sure that we can put you guys a part of this program as well, so. UDT?
Well, we're grateful and we honor. We've been in existence for 23 years and making an impact in the community. I am so grateful, amen, that God honor us and grace us, that we can continue, amen, helping our children in our community. We have a love for children. And I believe these words, I always speak these words, whatever you make happen for others, you make happen for yourself. Thank you.
So just want to again thank the City of Newark, Mayor Raz J. Baraka, Dr. Charnae Brown for making this happen, and Savas Learning for partnering with us over the next year to see this happen. So thank you. And thank you to all our providers that showed up and stayed with us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, one more time. When I say literacy, you say opportunity. Literacy. Literacy. I hope that you all had an amazing afternoon and morning with us, that you were all able to take away. I'm such an educator in the room, so I need to hear from this table, what is something that you're going to take away from this experience today? Period, as the kids say. He said he's going to take away the words from Mayor Raj J. Baraka. He said, Mayor Baraka said to always stay prepared, and he's going to stay prepared, right? That's right. All right, how about over here? What's one thing you guys are going to take away from this table? Yeah, your table. Mm-hmm. She pulling out her notebook. All right, come on now, hit us with a quote. What you leaving with today? Make everyone responsible for literacy. Yes, thank you. I know, hopefully I'm bringing the same energy that Dr. Brown brought all day. If we could just please give it up for this phenomenal woman. Let's give it up for Dr. Brown. What? Yes, well, yes, right. I like you stand on your feet. One more time. Let's give it up for Dr. Brown. And let's give it up for these amazing women on this stage. Let's give it up for the amazing women on the stage again. I also want you all to leave here remembering that Reading Partners is offering free tutoring for students. So take advantage of those note cards that are on your table. Look up Reading Partners. Look up all of these amazing organizations. If you didn't get a chance to connect with some of these amazing CEOs, executive directors, library branch directors, let's give it up for the library over there. Did you all make sure you sign up and get your books? So please check out all of our amazing tables. Connect with us. Did I miss anything? And check out the booklet. There's everybody's information is in the booklet. And anything else?
I just want to shout out, what's the name of this?
We just want to shout out the amazing company that provided these chairs today, Miss Amina located on Halsey Street. Thank you so much for providing these chairs. Thank you to all the vendors. Thank you all to make this event happen. And again, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you for being here today.
I just want to give a shout out to Your Giving Back. These two young men created a program where they donate books. They donate books to different schools in Newark. They donated books to this event. I just want you to hear their names and what grade level. And we want to thank them for being young entrepreneurs, or no, I should say givers, philanthropists. Let's give it up. Tell them your names and the name of your program.
My name is Ansh Modani. I'm a junior in high school.
And my name is Arush Batra. I'm also a junior in high school, and I'm from Edison. Yeah, we're the co-founders of Your Giving Back. So we really started because we've always wanted to give back to the community from like an early age. And like a couple of years ago, we were both moving houses and we realized how many unused books we just had lying around. And we wanted to give back to the community and put those books to better use. Because right now they were just lying around in our house without being used.
So far, we've donated around 10,000 books to the Newark area. We've donated to Abington Elementary School, Lafayette Street School, First Avenue School, and many more to come. So thank you so much for the opportunity. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We really appreciate you. Thank you for being a global citizen. Let's give them a round of applause. And I just want to shout out two people. Can we give it up for the Office of OCCE, Aaliyah Kearney and Lucy Gracia Brown for all their tireless work? Can we give them a shout out? Come to the front. Come on, come to the front. Aaliyah, I don't know where you are, but thank you. Come on, come on, come on. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Working tirelessly. We just want to say, we love all of you, and Newark Reads Literacy Coalition says, see you at the next event.